Peace, 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 peace. What is going on? Happy Friday, man. Jesus. This week has flown by. You see, I had to think about it. I do this every Friday, or usually every Friday. And yeah, man, it's been crazy. But peace, what's going on, world? Welcome to Substantial Weekly. My name is Substantial. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time. Shout out to everybody returning, man. I know it's been a little inactive over here. Just a heads up, I've been really sick behind the scenes. I'm just getting over the flu. So that was an event, to say the least. On top of that, my youngest, she was sick first, and then I'm assuming I got it from her. But like, yeah, man. So it's definitely been rough. So if you hear me like randomly coughing during the show and stuff, it has a lot to do with me still getting over what I had. It was about like a week ago when I was dealing with it, but yeah, it's been real. It's been real. But shout out to everyone in the chat, man. And that's not everything that's been going on, but that definitely affected a lot of what I had to do. But yeah, man, what up, Warpath? What up, Josh? Good to see you up in here. Soul Tiger, peace to you. Sal, what's going on? Happy Friday to you as well. Peace, what's going on, family? Good to see you here. Hey, peace. What's going on, Hachi? And who else we got up in here? Nice Afro. Peace. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, man. Tim Harris. Hey, we got a first timer in the building. That's what's up. Good to see you up in here. What up, nephew? Good to see you. All good. No worries, Soul Tiger. It's gonna be. The show today is probably going to be one of the longer ones and stuff because we got a lot to catch up on. But yeah, man, no worries. Shout out to those of you able to hang. But yeah, man. Yeah, I had a fever. My fever was over 100. Was dealing with that for like maybe 2 or 3 days before you know, with the prescription I had to pick up, courtesy of my doctor's orders. You know, once I had that going or whatever, things definitely got better. But it was pretty rough, man. I was out of work for a few days. I was down and out behind the scenes too. But like, you know, that mixed with what my schedule has been lately has definitely been affecting a lot of what's going on. Y'all probably have noticed that I haven't been posting a lot of anything online outside of collaborations and stuff. So yeah, man, I'm definitely better now. The biggest issue I'm dealing with now is just a cough that has gotten better, but it has been a slow process in terms of it going away. So, you know, but I appreciate the well wishes and all that. Thank you, family. Yeah, we noticed, but good to see you back on track. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. All right, so let's get into some things because, like I said, man, it's a lot to cover today. So let's jump into it without further ado. Let's see. But quick reminder, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by donating via several ways. You can do so via the super chat, which, by the way, if you hadn't noticed, we do have a goal today. Hey, just saw someone donated to Words, Beats, and Life, man. Shout out to Boy Blaze 2002. Thank you for you know, donating and supporting Words, Beats, and Life. I was definitely going to get to that next, but real quick, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by throwing something in the super chat. Our goal today is to hit 5 super chats, and I will play for y'all an unreleased Bop Alloy song that will likely be on our upcoming album. Give you a little sneak peek of that, maybe play a verse for you. So yeah, man, definitely if you want to support, you can do that. You can also support Words, Beats, and Life by contributing to the donation button that's right below the video. So far, via our channel, we've raised over $247 for hip hop education. So basically, for those who don't know, I'm deputy director of Words, Beats, and Life, and part of what we do at Words, Beats, and Life is we teach arts education via our academy. You know, through the elements of hip hop, and we also have comic book art classes, amongst other things, podcasting classes, etc. Outside of that, we also throw 2 annual festivals, one called Words, Beats, and Life Fest, which I'm about to talk about in a few minutes. And we also do DMV Made Festival, which highlights health and wellness, but also celebrates DMV hip hop and R&B and all types of artists, all across like multiple genres and stuff. It's an annual festival that we do during the summertime. The first festival I mentioned, WBL Fest, is one that happens in the spring. So that's happening next month. But we'll talk about all of that in a second. But yeah, definitely if you decide to contribute to that, you're supporting the work that we do with young people, the free programming that we offer to young people. We also do some adult programming as well, different events and stuff. Some of that I'll be talking about in a bit. But yeah, man. So yeah, those are two different ways you can support, whether it's supporting me directly or supporting the work that I do outside of making music. Whatever you choose to do is always appreciated. Never mandatory, but always appreciated. So let's keep it moving. Get back to these comments real quick. Boy, Blaze, it's good to see you up in here, man. I know you've been rocking with me since the sacrifice days at least, man. So thank you, man. My man Stan, it was nice seeing you for the first time at BlurCon 2024. Yeah, man, for sure, family. Been wanting to see you since 2006. Well, hopefully, man, some of these events that's coming up, hopefully I see you around those too. So I still have to backtrack to watch later list for the weekly episodes I missed. One of them, you had Javier Starks as a guest star. Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. That was the episode from 2 weeks ago. The MySpace days was cool when I found out you were a PG kid like me. I'm definitely started supporting. Man, I appreciate the love, family. Always appreciate the love, especially that hometown love. So thank you, brother. All right, let's keep it going. Cue the cough. All right, let's see. First things first. All right, let's fix this real quick. Boom, boom. All right, man, we're going to take a minute to celebrate. We have officially reached over 12,000 plus subscribers, man. Thank y'all so much for making that possible. Definitely appreciate all the support. Yeah, man, it's been dope to see the channel grow. I think the best part about watching the growth of the channel has been, you know, and this is, I was about to say, this is no shot at, hey, man, take it how you feel. Nowadays, like, you know, I could try to make it as polite as possible, but somebody will always be offended. So the truth of the matter is, I'm happy to see the growth that my career has seen, the YouTube channel has seen, the music has seen, all of that, without me compromising who I am, without me, you know, turning into a content creator per se. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, and I was about to say it again, like, no slight to, listen, man, if you feel the way, you feel the way. But, you know, I've been always very clear about who I am, first and foremost. You know, I'm an artist, man. I'm a person who enjoys making this music. I'm a visual artist as well. So in every sense of the word, I'm an artist. And I really just want to create the things, you know, do the work I'm passionate about and have impact with that work. And so it's been dope to see the support and growth, you know, being my authentic self and not necessarily having to follow every trend in order to keep my career afloat. So, you know, I may not get the you know, the ridiculous numbers that some people do, but what a lot of people forget is that the vast majority of people who are musicians or people who have YouTube channels, the vast majority of them are on the lower side of things. So I don't really spend a lot of time comparing myself to these other folks who are significantly bigger, because I know that unlike most people, I'm very aware of the fact that I'm actually in the higher percentile, even though oftentimes people don't see it that way. And people forget too, because I teach music business classes, because I spend a lot of times helping clients. I spend a lot of my days reviewing analytics and looking at the data. And most people would be really surprised at how much on the higher end of things, you know, I've been, even though, like, you know, of course, when you love something or you love somebody, man, you always feel like, yeah, more people need to know. And hey, man, I'm grateful for who's here. You know what I mean? So thank y'all, man. Again, I appreciate the love and support. Wouldn't be here without y'all, man. Let's go to these comments real quick before we keep it pushing. Let's see. Javier as a guest was a fun one. Definitely would recommend to check him out. Yeah, man. Hey, if y'all haven't checked out Javier's music, checked out Javier's YouTube channel, his social media, and all of that. If you love his energy, following him on any of these platforms, it's just more of that, man. More good vibes. Always support my brother. He's a dope artist, a dope individual, more importantly. Yeah, man. Yes, thank y'all for the love, man. J Soul in the building. Hey, we got to get J Soul on the show as a guest. You know what I mean? Hey, it's my friend Stanley. I'm Stanley's friend. I believe Stanley is my friend. I love and hate you, bro. Oh, man. Hey, hope you're doing well, man. Shout out to J Soul. As y'all can see, we're talking about Color of Love today, which was a collab on Uyama Hiroto's new album called Breath of Love, featuring this song features myself and J Soul. So shout out to J Soul for being in the building. Be sure to subscribe to his channel. Check out his new music, which is fire as always, and our mini collabs. Been grinding to that 12K, 100%, man, always. Those 12K are blessed with dope music taste, man. 100%, and I received that as well. Thank you. Black of all trades, we do it. You already know. Early bird, who's late? In and out real quick today, but wanted to stop by quick and say what's up. I could tell you rushing because you all the typos, man. Good to see you up in here, bro. Congrats, hi Stanley's one of those subscribers. Stanley is subscribed to my YouTube channel as well. Because you know I like to think I'm a good friend, you know what I mean? But the Lord's still working on me, you know. And it's great to see you, Jamal. You know what I mean? Jamal has a much cooler name than me. You know what I mean? His name just sounds better. You know what I mean? But hey, man, my real name worked out for my rap name. You know what I mean? It all worked out in the end. Shout out to all my friends who cook me about my real name. It's all good. You know what I mean? Happy Friday. Happy Mochi. Good to see you up in here, sis. You got 1,000 times more followers than Jesus. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, okay, you know, listen, man, you know, I'ma shut up. Thank you early. I received the joint, you know what I mean? You know, high five for Jesus. All that good stuff. Alexandra says, congrats, huge fan here. Greetings from Brazil. That's what's up, Brazil in the building. Oh, be sure to let us know where you're watching from. Thank you for starting that trend, but everybody else, let us know where you're tuning in from. You know what I mean? Happy Friday, fam. Hope your week was blessed. Likewise, sis. We got to catch up soon for sure. Color of Love is dope AF. That MJ Butterfly sample is nostalgic to hear. The funny thing is, there's no samples on it. It just kind of has that vibe. But there's no, you know, Uyama's playing everything. So definitely you can hear some of that influence from that particular track, which is super dope, you know. Silver Spring in the building. That's what's up. All right, MD. There we go. All right, let's keep it pushing. Voice crack, sounding like I was returning to my youth. Hey, so a quick reminder, Adultish 2.0 is coming soon with all the remixes, unreleased track as well, which I gave y'all a preview of a little while ago. Pardon the delay, man, between being sick and the new job and a whole lot of other things happening behind the scenes, mostly good stuff. It's been really difficult to stay on top of some of the mini projects I had going on. You know, whether it's Adultish 2.0, whether it's the next Bop Alloy project. I have these two. I paused because I was debating whether to say something. I won't say what it is, but these two other projects, these two film projects that I'm quietly working on as well, like documentary style things that it's coming further down the road. But between research for those things and other stuff I'm thinking about, yeah, it's a lot happening, man. All good stuff. Yeah, man. And dope conversations, man. Shout out to IDK. I don't know if y'all listen to IDK's music, but recently that brother hit me up and showed a ton of love, man. It's always dope, man, when the next generation of artists who are coming up and being really, really successful sometimes reach back to like older artists like myself who've been around for quite some time and maybe don't always get the recognition, but it's dope to see how many like artists who've quote unquote made it big or at a higher level in the industry are very much aware of what happens with a lot of us indie artists. And so, yeah, he discovered my stuff kind of late, but like reached out like shortly after he discovered, who I was and the work I've put in. So that's been really dope, man. So shout out to IDK. Check out his Tiny Desk if you haven't seen it. And for those who don't know who IDK is, he's a hip hop artist that is from PG County, Maryland, from the hometown and stuff, and makes really dope stuff. You know what I mean? It's a wide variety of stuff. He sings, he raps. Some of his stuff sounds more mainstream, but a lot of his stuff is like not too far from a lot of the indie stuff that a lot of us listen to. So yeah, man, shout out to him. Stan's voice cracks are like everyone's normal voice. Oh man. Can't rush perfection. We understand. Appreciate that, bro. Okay. Uyama is a great beast on the beats. Thought for sure it was a Butterfly sample, but great song and album regardless. Yeah, 100%. Laugh out loud. True Warpath. I would love to hear an audio book in Stan's voice. Maybe someday. You know what I mean? Speaking of audio stuff, I recently, one of the things that's been kept me a little busy over the last few weeks is I recently did some, not voiceover work, but I don't know if it's voiceover. I basically, I was hired to read some stuff, basically not voice acting, but definitely, I guess it would be voiceover work. But yeah, so I recently was hired to do a job like that, and I got a feeling this will be something that I'll be doing more of in the future. So that was really dope to have an opportunity like that. We'll see. Shout out to my wife. She's been doing that for years, that would be dope. Yes. All right, let's keep it pushing. So upcoming events. Let me start this by saying these events in particular that we're going to talk about for Words, Beats, and Life, the organization that I work with. Again, shout out to Boy Blaze 2002 who actually donated. Shout out to any of you who've already donated to the organization. But yeah, man, we're about to run down the Words, Beats, and Life Festival 2025 that is happening April 3rd through the 6th. Now, I'm going to start it off by saying I am not performing, but I am one of the people, a part of the organization who's helping to organize some of the stuff that you're going to see happening. So yeah, man, supporting this is supporting me in the work that I do here in the area. All right, so let's get into it because there's a lot. And the website is just wblinc.org/WBL Fest, where you can see the full schedule. But we're going to run through what the schedule is going to look like, and I'm going to throw this up here so y'all can see that and check it out. But any of you who are in the area, even if you're a little further up the highway in Baltimore, etc., definitely want you to come out and support and have a good time with us, man. It's going to be great. So let's go through the rundown of the events. Let me fix my image here. Boom. All right. So first and foremost, we got the Combine Poetry All-Stars. So over the years, we've had a lot of young poets. In fact, the one young lady who has the glasses on, who's over my head, she's one of my former students from my business of art and music class. She's an amazing poet, and so are all these young people in these images. These are all former students of Words, Beats, and Life, or former participants in our events who are on the younger side, and they are all performing at the Combine Poetry All-Star, which is happening on the Millennium Stage. Let me move this banner because it's cutting off. That is happening on April 3rd, Thursday, April 3rd at 6 p.m. It's happening at Millennium Stage at the Kennedy Center. All right. So that is the first event. It's also important to stress that's the only event that we're doing that is happening at the Kennedy Center. All right. But let's keep it moving so y'all can get the rest of this information. All right. Also happening on Thursday night, there's another event called Word Power Presents Aesthetic with featured poet Adamo, hosted by my man Black Picasso. Shout out to my man Patrick. Really dope brother, part of Poem C's. He's also our director of poetry at Words, Beats, and Life. So check out that event. That's happening Thursday evening at Bus Boys and Poets. Peace, Night Owl. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right, let's keep it going. More events. Also happening April 3rd. Like I told you, it's a festival, so there are multiple events happening. Go to the website that I mentioned before to get the full schedule. In fact, I will put that back up on the screen. in the ticker. Boom. So on Thursday as well, we have Time Capsule 2040, a link to the future, interactive multimedia experience happening at Treehouse. So for those who don't know, Towards 2040 is a project that Words Beats and Life does that supports other creatives and stuff, gives them some funding for certain things that they got going on, and also links them with another creative who's been in the industry to serve as a mentor during that period of time. So I'm working with a young man who's a professional dancer, who has his own dance company and stuff like that, and is on the come up and doing big things. So we all partner with different folks. And so this is an opportunity to learn more about that. If you're a creative looking for support in the region and stuff and looking for other opportunities, this may be something that you should attend and maybe look at how you can apply in the future. You know what I mean? Let's keep it going. Boom. Another one. This one is happening on Friday at Busboys and Poets. This is our weekly open mic at Brooklyn. Presented by WordPal. Trying to get rid of that cough, man. Hosted by Dwayne B, featuring Drew Anderson at Busboys and Poets. Super dope event. Should be a lot of fun. And if you are down to hop on the open mic, you should come through. Let's see. Last week, the best thing happened with me performing City Lights in my university in an event with my best friend. And the crowd response was awesome. First time I beat my stage fear. That's dope. If you got clips, share it with me. I'd love to see it. Matter of fact, something I should add to the channel, I'm going to holler at AJ Rios. He already sent me the video, but AJ Rios has been teaching music for quite some time. And so he teaches like kids how to play drums, teaches them how to play guitar, teaches them how to play piano. And he sent me footage of a student of his playing the drum line to Eclipse while AJ is playing it on piano. Super dope. I think, man, I'm like, if y'all are interested in seeing stuff like that, I'll try to share more things like that on the channel whenever people send them my way. But it was super cool to see that. Hachi, that's super dope, man. Thanks for the love. Honored that y'all selected our song. Rest in peace to Nugent Best, and shout out to my man Pace Rock. All right, next event, Friday night. This is a big one. All of these events are big, but this is a special one. Shout out to DJ Spinner. DJ Spinner, legendary DJ producer. For those who don't know, DJ Spinner actually did a remix of "If I Was Your Mic" back in the day, like back when that song first came out. He did an official remix. Shout out to Nujabes for making that happen. But Words Beats and Life presents Beats and Life rooftop party happening, at Eaton, with legendary DJ Spinner, and also DJ Gina Marie, who is a Words Beats and Life alum and super talented DJ. Many years ago, I posted an interview. I don't know if it's on my channel or on a different channel. But I was actually being interviewed by DJ Gina Marie. So shout out to her. Looking forward to that event as well. All right, keep it moving. On Saturday, as you notice, man, we got like 4 days of events going down. It's crazy. So on Saturday, from Southside to Uptown, WBL Student Gallery, it's the opening. You get to see some of the work that the students have been creating with us. That's happening at Busboys and Poets. Showcasing artwork from across WBL citywide programs, mosaics, aerosol paintings, photography, comic book art, and poetry. All right, super dope. It's going to be up at Busboys and Poets from April 5th all the way through September. So definitely come check that out. And then that evening, starting at 6 p.m., we got Slamtastic, a youth open mic and poetry slam. Slamtastic is something that we do every month. But at that time, we'll be having the Grand Slam finals. So definitely come out, man. It's important to point out most of these events are open to all ages with the exception of the rooftop party. But and most of these events are free with the exception of the rooftop party. So and I think some of the poetry events also come with a price. But you'll see all of that information if you follow the link I'll throw it back up on the screen. I believe it's also linked in the description of the video if memory serves me. All right, next one. This is a big one. This is a big one. If you're in the DMV, man, you need to come out to DC, come out to Franklin Park. Arrested Development, Words, Beats, and Life, along with the downtown DC, the National Cherry Blossom Festival, pardon me, presents Jazz and Blossoms. This is our official park jam that happens at Franklin Square Park. We got Arrested Development, legendary group. For those of you who might be a little too young to maybe know some of their music, you still might have heard it in passing. But songs like Tennessee, classic. Also, what's the joint? I am everyday people. Classic joint. We got that joint. They got so many joints. I could keep going, but I'm gonna stop right there. I like their new joint, Melanin, which is fire. But yeah, man, Arrested Development's gonna be performing live, as well as legendary hip hop artist Masta Ace. Masta Ace, man, has been dope forever. Call me bench warmer because I don't play. Hey man, Masta Ace has been that guy forever. But yeah, Masta Ace is performing live with Sound of the City. Shout out to Precious Joubert, collaborator of mine, and Biscuit Bynum. I've rocked with their band many a time. They backed me in the past, and they are DC or DMV area staple. So it's going to be dope seeing him do that, as well as my big brother from another mother, the sensei, my man Kokai. Kokai is super dope. He's a former guest here on the show back when we were doing Substantial Weekly, former label mate from Q&5 days, and a legend here in the DMV. And worldwide, he's been putting in work, man. But definitely Kokai is going to be there. A group that's super dope called Black Folks Don't Swim. Black Folks Don't Swim? I think that's how you say it, because it's a question mark. Black Folks Don't Swim. They're a super dope band from this area. They're also former clients of Substantial Art and Music, so shout out to them. And the homie Rob Brown, my sister from another mister, super dope poet, who her last album that came out last year, I actually produced a track on that, and I have a track that I produced on her new album. And it's hosted by the Poe MCs. Shout out again to my man, excuse me, my man Patrick, aka Black Picasso. Shout out to him, and opening set by DJ Stylist, the Bob Conductor. So yo, this is gonna be fire. Family friendly activities. We got origami happening. You can, I think you can actually do some, we were just talking about this because I was just in the meeting before this started, but we also have, not printmaking, but basically you can make your own shirts. We got food vendors that are going to be there. Words, Beats, and Life is going to be selling merchandise. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's free with RSVP. Again, you can go to that site. You can register. It's going to be dope. Let's go to the comments real quick. Oh, matter of fact, before I go to the comments, let's announce the last part of this. Yeah, and I'm back. Yeah, man, the last thing, last part of the event, and this is something that we do every month. We do something called Hip Hop Karaoke. Basically, it happens at Eden, at Wild Days at Eden. It's hosted by Glow Shines with DJ Big Meech. It's going to be dope. It's always dope. Definitely come through. This is how we're closing out the festival that's happening Sunday evening. All right. But those are all the events a part of the festival. 4 days of mostly free events, of mostly family friendly events, of events that are going to be lifting up our community, creating opportunities for both young artists and older artists. Yeah, man, it's just a super great time. If you plan on being in the area, if you're not from here, that time of year is a great time to be here. You can see the cherry blossoms, come to some dope events. It's going to be a great time. All right. Let's go to the comments. Let's see. All right. Nujabes and Jay Dilla, two of my favorite producers, and Aquarian Brothers. Masta Ace is that dude too. 100%, man. Masta Ace is a legend. Yeah, man. Word kicking my butt, but word kicking my hey, peace. What's going on, Frank? But we find time to come say hi and bless the. Oh man, it's all love, bro. Hey, good to see you up in here, man. Hey, thank you, Warpath. Thank you, Warpath. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Clap it up, my brother. Yeah, man, we are a step closer. Four more super chats, and we will hear a new unreleased Bop Alloy track. So, yeah, man, thank you so much, family. All right, let's keep it pushing. Master Ace is definitely legendary. Do me a favor in the chat. Let me know your favorite Master Ace song. I have a few favorites. Of course, he got some hit record joints, some big joints like Born to Roll and stuff from back in the day. Of course, his legendary appearance on the Symphony, classic joint. But also, man, like some of the joints he's put out later in his career. Son of Yvonne is a dope project. I love songs like what was it? I think it was off the Disposable Arts joint. Or no, it was his other one where he's sitting on the stoop. But the song Beautiful. Oh my God. Fitting title, man. Definitely a classic joint. Get Shot, yeah. That's a banger as well. Sorry, I'm eating. Man, listen. You know, it gets so bad sometimes during these lives, fam. You can hear my stomach growling through the mic. It's crazy. But let's keep it pushing. All right, switch screens for a second. But yeah, man, WBL Fest. Go ahead and register if you're planning to attend any of that stuff at WBLinc.org/WBL Fest, so you can come through, have a good time with us. It's gonna be dope. Young Black Intelligent. Take a Walk. Woo! Take a Walk. Another classic. Yeah, man, so many bangers. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's keep it going. All right, so we got more events. Let's get those back up on the screen. So more events coming up. In May, I will be going to MomoCon. MomoCon is celebrating 20 years. I will be there Thursday, May 22nd through the 25th. And the first event that I'm doing is happening on Thursday. I'll be doing Sketchpads there. I'll be playing a live beat set. We haven't decided who the guest visual artist is going to be yet, but I will update you with that information as soon as I know. But yeah, man, come through and see me. Those of you who are in the South, for my fans who say, somebody literally wrote a comment on one of the joints like, yo, my boy never come through Atlanta. I'm coming through Atlanta. The question is, are you going to be there? All right, so come see me at MomoCon Friday night. A great show is going down. For some of you who've never been to MomoCon or never been to Atlanta but don't live too far away, this might be a reason to travel and grab a ticket. Me, Alan Z, Asheru of the Boondocks fame. Alan Z actually had music in the TV show Warrior. Aztec, who's done music for Dr. Stone amongst other anime. J Live, legendary hip hop artist, my brother Javier Starks. Of course, me and Superstition doing a performance Friday night at 8 p.m. And it's called From Adult Swim to Lo-Fi. It's going to be a really dope night. Wide variety of dope underground hip hop and some of us who've done stuff on bigger platforms, of course. I've done some music for video games, stuff like that. So you're going to get a little sample of all of that. It's going to be a dope poo-poo platter of quality hip-hop. But yeah, man. I know we were talking about Words, Beats, and Life before. Just wanted to give y'all a heads up. This is some of the merchandise that is available on WBL's website right now. The reason why I'm showing you this is because, as you know, I'm deputy director there. This is part of how we raise funds. So if you're really not the donation type of person, you want something for your money, you can go to the website. You can pick up some merchandise from the website. And in that money, the profit that we get from you making these purchases goes toward helping us fund our after school program. All right. So, yeah, man, definitely check that out. Got a lot of good stuff up there. All right, let's keep it moving because we got some other things to get to. And I think it's about that time. All right, let's cue this up. Boom. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Take it off the screen because there's a typo. Boom, boom, boom. Let's fix that. Yes. Okay. Got it. That's right. I did it over here. Let's throw this up in the background. Boom. Let's remove you with the typo and all that good stuff. And then, all right, getting this all straight. Now, where's the other one? Ah, there it is. Boom. Okay. So it is about that time to do anatomy of a verse. So let's make sure. I think music is already cued. Yes, it is. But hold on. Stop the presses. Yeah, man. Yo, shout out to B-Boy Blaze. Let's throw that up on the screen for coming through, man. Good to see you up in here. But also, thank you, man, for the contribution. And according to YouTube, this is the 10th time that they have sent through a super chat, you know what I mean, on the live stream. So thank you so much, family. I appreciate that, man. We are officially 3 super chats away from hitting our goal, where I will play some new music for you from Bop Alloy. If y'all are interested, if we hit the goal, of course, that will happen. If not, no worries. You know what I mean? Maybe another time. But let's keep it pushing. Hold on, my youth. Hold on. Make that smaller so y'all can see that cover. So, yeah, man. Right about now. Oh, forgot. There it is. Did it work? All right, y'all. Now we'll switch this back. So it's about that time, y'all. It is time for us to do
Anatomy of a Verse.
So peace and welcome to those of you just joining us. What we're about to do right now is Anatomy of a Verse, where I break down lyrics of mine from different songs. Sometimes I break down just the one verse from the track, or like if it's a solo song, I break down all the verses. Today we're talking about the song Color of Love from the homie Uyama Hiroto that features myself and J Soul. Shout out to J Soul, who was in the chat earlier. But yeah, man, this particular track just came out at the end of, I want to say, yeah, fourth quarter. I think it came out fourth quarter of 2024, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all let me know. I feel like that's right. Like it came out toward the end of the year. But yeah, man, it's a dope track that, quite frankly, man, was sitting on this track for a long time. Me and J Soul first recorded this for Uyama back in, Jesus, it had to be like 2016 or 2017, something like that, is when this was first written and recorded. Somewhere around there. It might be 2017. I know I was still working at Oxon Hill Middle School around the time I worked on this particular track. So it was definitely a minute ago. And yeah, man, when I heard the beat, I knew I wanted to write something dope for it. After writing the initial lyrics and the hook, like I came up with this kind of like sing-songy hook. And I thought it could sound a little bit better if I had one of my friends add some additional vocals on it. So shout out to J Soul, came through and laced it. Excuse me. And yeah, man, and you know, Uyama loved what he did. Uyama also went and recorded something super dope on J Soul's Neutronic Suite album. If you've never heard that album, highly recommend you go check it out. Shout out to the homie J Soul. It's a really great record. So yeah, man, on that note, let's get into the song and the lyrics. Feel free to drop any comments and stuff or questions in the chat. I will try to get to them at the end of the breakdown. Let's cue up the volume. Make sure it's not too loud over there. Bet. All right, here we go.
Inside of me, the man can't be what he ain't. So obviously, this art I bleed Is the God in me's need to paint, right design.
Yeah, man. So out the gate, I can't free what don't reside in me. A man can't be what he ain't. There's many times where I've played either played music for somebody that I know or was just kind of cool with. And then there's other times where like it's been like, people who don't necessarily know me, but they've heard the music, and then will make certain comments. Like, people have basically said to me in like different ways, they felt like I wasn't being my true self, right? Like, which kind of struck me weird because at one point in time, I thought like, there was some truth to what they were saying. But then I also realized that some of the people who were saying this were people who didn't know me. Like they felt like I was, because of the type of hip hop I was making, that didn't fall in line with the usual stuff that people would hear. They felt like I was pretending to be something other than who I was. And so that's why I say it's like, I can't free what don't reside in me. A man can't be what he ain't. So it's like, there isn't this thing locked up inside of me or whatever that maybe you identify more with. And a good example of what I'm talking about is one dude said to me, he was like, man, I wish you cursed more. and keep in mind, this is a fellow teacher. This is a teacher, right? Both of us were working in a place where we couldn't walk around there doing that, right? Like, and so part of the reason why over time I've cursed less and less in my music, because over time I've cursed less and less when I talk to people in real life, right? Like, and anybody who knows me now and feels like I curse a lot, you should have known me when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? If you think I curse a lot now, like, yeah, fam, you have no idea. But yeah, man. So like that line, how I started, initially addresses that. Cause even when that person said that to me, what I've realized, I think in that moment was, you want me to do something that you wish you could do more of. And that's not me not being more of who I am. That's you looking for something in what I'm doing that would, I guess, motivate you to listen or enjoy or indulge in what I do more. And if I do that, I'm not being myself. I'm caving into this need that you have that doesn't serve me. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man. But we got to stop for a second because we hit our goal. So let's clap it up for that. Man, so couple comments in here. Me go ahead and love all of these joints. Man, y'all are the best, man. I appreciate the love, y'all. Thank y'all so much. But yeah, so Boy Blaze, who donated twice today, man. Thank you so much. You just gotta love subliminal messages, psychological jargon, thought-provoking lyrics, and a banging beat. Suffice it to say, I love hip hop. Yeah, man, 1000%, yo. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. This song is absolutely so lyrical and musically powerful. Thank you. I like the song Lyrical Terrorist. Yeah, man, thank you. That's a classic. Yeah, man, thank you. Listening to Bop Alloy music is always a treat. Thank you, Soul Tiger. Yep, we get into that later. And thank you, Sal Ortiz, for contributing. Yep. All right, so let's get back to this breakdown. I'm gonna hold off on any comments or any of the comments until I finish the breakdown, so that way we don't take too long to get to it. But going back to the lyrics, and then after that, where it's like, so obviously this art I bleed is the God in me's need to paint, right? Like, this idea that like God isn't this mythological being like sitting in the clouds, right? Like it lives within us. And like this thing that, if anything, that I'm let go of or kind of expose more of is the spirit that lives in me, right? This love that lives in me, this art that's in me, right? Like that line is like the God in me's need to paint, write, or design. These are all things that I do. Like I've painted, I do printmaking. I still got all the supplies like over here, where occasionally I whip it on and then create something new. And a lot of graphic design stuff outside of the things I'm writing constantly as well. So these are just many ways that I find a way to kind of express myself and tap into something greater. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's keep it going.
Wrong circles, right in lines. Lost my first watch, eventually found the time.
Yeah, so hung around the wrong circles, right in lines. Lost my first watch, eventually found the time. So try to put a lot of wordplay in it. Shout out to my man Micah Blacklight, who was one of the people who challenged me early in my career, before I even got my first record deal, before I signed with Hideout. And he used to say, he was like, man, as clever as you are with the battle rap stuff, I need more of that wittiness, more of the cleverness in your more thought, or your deeper songs, your more personal songs. I need more of that over there. All the things that he believed made me a great battle rapper. So when you hear lines like this, hung around the wrong circles, right? Hung around the wrong circles, right in lines, right? Like imagine you drawing outside of the lines, drawing around a circle. So, but then it literally is like, hung around sometimes the wrong peers, right? While I was writing music, trying to figure out who I was, what it was I was trying to achieve, how much of what I wanted to achieve was what they wanted for me versus what I wanted for myself. So hung around the wrong circles, writing lines. Lost my first watch, eventually found the time. So it's a reference to when I was younger. Like a watch I had when I was really young, literally it lost that. But then it's a metaphor for what I was currently dealing with, right? Like lost my first watch, but eventually found the time. So it's almost like I kind of felt lost, was kind of going down the wrong path, but I eventually figured out where I needed to be or what time it was, what this moment really was about. All right, let's keep it going.
With it, new flows I scribble repeatedly. Can't be what I'm not, but I'ma be who I need to be. A father, a son, a husband, an educator, an artist, a brother, a hustler that never gave up, a dreamer, believer, a seeker of liberation, receiver, a speaker, the source of your inspiration.
Yeah, man. So eventually found the time to grow a little while flows I scribble repeatedly. Can't be what I'm not. But I'ma be what I need to be, right? A father, son, husband, educator, an artist, a brother, a hustler that never gave up, a dreamer, believer, a seeker of liberation, receiver, a speaker, the source of your inspiration. And so, again, man, just one, taking that found the time, and then having the line kind of go past the bar was found the time to grow a little while flows I scribbled repeatedly. So I wasn't just trying to grow as an artist. I've always been trying to make sure that as much as my art grew and I developed that particular skill, I also was developing myself as a man, right? Trying my best to become a better version of myself, being the best me I can be. So I'm going to be who I need to be, like a father, a son, a husband, an educator. These are all things in some ways, like some of these things are things I dreamed of being someday, whether when we're talking about being a father, obviously I'm a son, we're all somebody's child, a husband, right? Grateful for my wife, man. I'm still standing, still doing a lot of what I do because of the person I have standing by my side. An educator. I didn't know I was going to be a teacher, but there were things that I was doing when I was in high school and things I wrote about in my statement of purpose when I was applying to colleges that clearly knew that I was going to be doing, whether it was education or some type of youth work / community work, because of things I was writing about when I was like 16, 17. But yeah, man, after that, then it goes into an artist, a brother, a hustler that never gave up. Man, like when I talk about like hustling, a lot of times when we hear it in music, we're oftentimes referring to people who are selling drugs, things like that. But for me, somebody who was around that element, had family members that was doing that, different dudes I was cool with in the neighborhood who were doing that. I looked at what they were doing and really was just like, yo, how can I apply that same get up and go go get go get this money, go get this whatever. How can I apply that to things that I want to do that maybe aren't going to lead me down the path that's leading? Yeah, it's leading them to more money, but it's also leading them to this other stuff. And I don't want the other stuff. Just give me that bread. You know what I'm saying? How can I take these things I'm great at, express myself honestly, do what I love to do, but also make a living doing it? And so I credit a lot of these dudes I came up with who in a lot of ways were doing the wrong thing, but they helped give me like some drive without me actually having to work up under them, but just seeing what they were doing, their level of dedication to that thing, right or wrong. Clearly it was wrong, but I found inspiration in watching them go get what they knew what they wanted, and they found a way to go get it. And so I was just like, yeah, I don't agree with what you're selling, but how you figured out how you could do this successfully to get, like, I can apply that. I can take a lesson from that. And so yeah, man, second, third grade, I was already selling my art. I was selling like little things. I remember being in fifth grade, going to this mall, and finding that they had this it was an arts and crafts store there, something that I didn't see in my neighborhood. And I remember buying a bunch of supplies because I knew there was this thing at school that other people would sell. It was called GIMP. And I used to like making those joints for my keychains or having them on my keychains. It made it easier to not lose my keys and all of that. So I learned how to make it. But then when I learned where I could buy the materials, man, I would buy the materials. I had a big ass like grandma bag, this big bag I used to bring to school that had all the supplies, had spindles and stuff, different colors that I could sell. I was selling it for 25 cents a yard, a little collapsible like yardstick, like collapsible scissors. I had all of this stuff in the bag, man. And I'm talking about, I pull up to school, and by the time first period started, this is like sixth grade, by the time first period started, I already had like $25, $30 sometimes. By the end of the day, like, man, I was easily making, like, bad day would be like $25 to $30, right? A great day would be anywhere from like 50 to 60. And so I figured out very young how to apply that drive, that hustle, and my creativity in a way that could meet some of my needs. And while some artists sometimes push back on the whole commercialization or the commerce side of art, because how that influences art in a negative way, what it did for me was it allowed me to focus on the things I was good at a younger age. And so I never felt this need to kind of be seduced by not a need, but I never was really fully seduced by the street life. You know what I mean? Because the main drive for a lot of these folks was to eat or to get money to get other things they needed. And when, like, at a very young age, I figured that out, how to use the things I was good at, how to get money doing that. And that's literally probably the only thing, to keep it a buck with you, that kept me from going the other way, is because I figured that out young. So yeah, man, I think it's an important, yeah, yo, a lot of people forgot about GIMP, fam, but that was my hustle, man. GIMP used to keep money in my pocket, family. Yeah, man. But anyway, let's keep it going. And after that, I say a dreamer, believer, a seeker, a liberation. But this part, some more wordplay for you. Receiver, a speaker, the source of your inspiration. So, being able to take, I mentioned receiver, talking about like basically receiving love, information, all of these different things. So as much as I'm sharing out, I'm also receiving these things. I'm taking this stuff in as well. But then also receiver, as in think of a stereo system, right? Receiver. Next line, a speaker, right? I'm not talking about a speaker that typically connects to a receiver, but I am talking about speaker in the sense of me being a speaker. But the wordplay is, I just said receiver, a speaker, like making those connections. Jesus, I'm making up words. Making those connections and relating these two things to each other to kind of give you some wordplay while simultaneously speaking to something like real and authentic with me. Yeah, made in Maryland line right there. All right, let's keep it going.
killer of kin dreams of love, but I've been known to kill it with pen streams and mics, sick beats alike. All of the above, for all of them above, still is what it was. It's love.
Man, yo, I love this song so much, man. Shout out to Uyama again, and J Soul, who's about to come up. But where it says, could never be a killer of kin dreams and love, but I've been known to kill it with pen streams and mics. So again, kind of referencing, the things I came up around and stuff, realizing at a young age, I'm like, yo, that's not me. I want a lot, like, yo, I want nice clothes. I want a little bit of money in my pocket. I want some of the same things a lot of these people around me want, you know what I mean? Some of my family want, but there's just certain things that like I realized at a young age, and it's not to say I never did certain things. I like, there's certain lines I did cross, but I realized really quick, I'm like, yo, yeah, this ain't it. You know what I mean? And so when I say could never be a killer of kin, dreams, or love, but I've been known to kill it with pen streams and mics. So again, this love outside of my visual art, but the music, writing lyrics, writing poems, all these different things, like that did something for me. And I realized I wanted to tap into that further and see where that could take me. And then for all of them above, acknowledging our ancestors, those who passed on, it still is what it was. It's love. Love has been the driving force behind almost everything I do, right? And so, yeah, let's get into the chorus. Fitting title, Color of Love.
Never be what I'm not. I could never fall in love with a lie. I don't even know how to stop. People don't, I don't know how to try. I don't know how to try. I could never be what I'm not. I could never fall in love with a lie. I don't even know how to stop. People don't, I don't know how to try. I don't know how to try.
Yeah, shout out J Soul. So this chorus I wrote myself, wrote the melody and stuff like that, did a super rough draft, and initially sent it to Uyama, and that's when I mentioned, I was like, yo, I'm gonna holler at my boy J Soul, see if I could have him add vocals to this just to make it sound a little bit better, where it's like, it's not full on singing. It's really kind of like almost like a chant of some sorts, but then like him just adding these nice touches to it to make it feel make it feel a little more mellow, a bit more melodic, more beautiful, you know what I mean? Him adding some color to it. And yeah, man, but I can never be what I'm not. I can never fall in love with a lie. I don't even know how to stop. Do or don't, I don't know how to try. Shout out to Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try. Then it says, and then it basically just repeats from there. But let's get into this second to last verse. It's kind of the last verse, and then there's like this outro thing that happens from there. But yeah, man, again, shout out to Uyama for the opportunity.
Easy to
hold on.
love a lie, harder to love the truth than yourself in these troubled times. No wonder why we faking on the real, but the sun will rise. Sleep until you find yourself woke when the thunder cries.
Man, listen. Easy to love a lie. Truer words had never been spoken. Harder to love the truth than yourself in these troubled times. I think of the Matrix when Cypher's character says, he was like, he's eating food at the restaurant with Agent Smith, and he's like, I know this snake. Basically, he says like, I know the steak isn't real. I'm gonna paraphrase, but he's like, I know that it's not real. I know how it feels real based on these things, but after knowing all of that, what I really know is that ignorance is bliss. So in other words, I wish I didn't know the truth, so I could just enjoy this, because this lie feels so good, and I'd rather just have the lie without the truth. And so just me starting that, like, I think not only would it be easier for like maybe a larger audience to maybe love what I do if I made it in a way that was more palatable for like mainstream consumption, right? So it's easy to love a lie, But it's harder to love the truth in yourself in these troubled times. Like when you're an artist that's constantly making music that is reflective and maybe talking about how things are and why they could be better, and maybe challenging some of these ideas and stuff that we've learned to accept in this ignorance that we now love, and we just operate on that. I think when you're an artist that has kind of pushed against that and maybe not just going down the path that everyone else takes, you know, you're kind of punished for it in some ways, right? Like, you know, that it's a lonelier path. There's going to be less people who kind of go along with you on your journey and stuff. And so you gotta learn to love yourself in that and understand that this is not the easiest path to go. And like, you know, you've chosen a path of integrity, and like not a lot of people are going to go with you down this route. But the people who get it and respect it are you know, what it's going to do for them might be greater than anything that maybe could have happened on a larger scale for you in terms of how you inspire folks, you know what I mean? But you'll never really know, depending on how that journey ends up, you know? So anyway, let's keep it going.
Froze over so cold that the summer cries without warning. Illest cold shoulders and house warmers.
I'm gonna rewind it a little bit because I feel like it skipped up some.
Self-walk when the thunder cries. Spring easy to love a lie, harder to love the truth in yourself in these troubled times. No wonder why we faking on the real, but the sun will rise. Sleep until you find yourself woke when the thunder cries. Spring froze over so cold that the summer cries without warning. Illest cold shoulders and house warmers.
Yeah, man. So no wonder why we faking on the real, but the sun will rise. In other words, like eventually the light will shine. The truth will set us free, right? So when you know, we fake on the real, we basically we don't accept the truth, but the truth finds a way to get through, right? The sun eventually rises. And so sleep until you find yourself woke when the thunder cries. Again, that word woke, that is crazy how controversial that word has become, largely because certain groups amongst us have kind of take that word, weaponized it, and turned it into something that it originally did not mean. And so the true meaning of it, like to be woke, is simply to be conscious, right? To understand that, like, you know, these different things have consequences, and the way things currently are, these things are not acceptable. And now that I know that, and I have this information, I like, in order to be woke, like I have to be alert. I have to see what's going on. And ultimately that's going to force me to act, right? To do something about it. And so, you know, sleep until you find yourself woke when the thunder cries. Ultimately, this flash of light, this sound, this moment, it like has been your awakening. And now that you're awake in this moment, you realize what's really happening. What are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with this information? Now that you know who you really are, how are you going to move forward through the world, right? Like how are you going to use your time effectively? How are you going to choose to impact people in whatever way you see fit, right? Hey man, appreciate you, family. Then after it says, oh yeah, next bars.
Storming out, can't handle what life's going. Couldn't hang till the dead family heartbroken. Hold that the summer cries without warning. Illest cold shoulders and house warmers.
Yeah. So I missed that part. So it said, spring froze over, so cold that the summer cries, without warning. Illest cold shoulders at house warmings. So again, a lot of wordplay in there. You know what I mean? Just like kind of playing with the different seasons. Like the seasons are like metaphors for our life and stuff like that. Like, you know, spring is supposed to be this time of growth, but because of people not accepting who they really are, like they're frozen, right? So this time of warmth and growth, like people have, like the growth is stunted. They're frozen. They can't move past that. So that's what these lines are implying. Then it's like so cold that the summer cries, like this time that's supposed to be, it's like we look forward to the summer, right? The summer is supposed to be a time of like joy, fun, vacation, and like all of these different things, being able to celebrate your growth that happened in the season before. But instead, you find yourself crying, you find yourself weeping, because of like you've been stagnant, like you haven't been able to grow. And so this moment that is a time of celebration for others is a time of pain for you, right? And it's like that the summer cries without warning. It's ill as cold shoulders at housewarmings, right? Like, again, another time that we're supposed to be celebrating, but it's because of what we're all dealing with. This time of celebration, this time of growth, is a time where you're greeted with energy that you typically wouldn't expect at a celebratory time. Like, people don't seem happy for you. Ill as cold shoulders at housewarmings, right? So, and then playing on the opposites, right? Like cold versus warm, et cetera, et cetera. So keeping with the seasonal thing. Let's keep it going. Come on, son. Phone locked on me for a second.
Storming out, can't handle what life's going. Couldn't hang till the dead, family heartbroken.
Whew. Man, child storming out, right? I was referencing like the weather, seasons, all of that. So then I say child storming out, right? Can't handle how life's going. Couldn't hang until they did. Family heartbroken. You know what I mean? Like, basically people who feel like things aren't getting better, right? Again, talking about being stagnant, like that lack of growth, or dealing like pain that hasn't been acknowledged, like getting to a point where it's like, I always think of this one pastor I used to work with when I worked with Covenant House, Washington, and I was he would ask me how I'm doing, and I would say I'm hanging in there, and everything comes back to Jesus, right? He would always say, he was like, well, you can hang in because he hung out, right? Like, talking about Jesus on the cross. He would say that all the time. And so this line is kind of, it's not so much a feel good thing. It's a really sad thing, but it's kind of like me flipping that, like, couldn't hang, until they did, right? So it's like, basically saying you couldn't cope with everything that was going on, right? So you couldn't hang until you did. Family heartbroken, broken. Basically saying that this person decided to unalive themselves because of what they were dealing with, and how that ultimately impacts your family. So now let's keep it going toward the end of the verse.
They were blinded by lies, but the truth was high in his sight, like right in front of your eyes, but kept on denying the blight. Focus more on the highs, ignoring all those out of fright, all under the guise of trying to be positive, right?
Yeah, man. So then again, acknowledging what I talked about before, they were blinded by lies, but the truth was hiding in sight, right? So it was in plain sight. It was right in front of them. All the cues, they were missing the cues, right? Of what this person was dealing with. Like, right in front of their eyes, but kept denying her plight. Focus more on her highs, ignoring her lows out of fright, all under the guise of trying to be positive, right? So something that I think we sometimes deal with is like, when you're a person who largely tries to be positive or uplifting in this, that, and the third, it comes with certain expectations after a while. Like, that's what people expect out of you. And then there are some people that will try to like overlook some of the bad things going on, or try to always spin it in a positive way, and never really fully acknowledge what's happening or deal with what's happening. That's a way of kind of sleepwalking, right? Like, so it's as dangerous as like someone who's just negative all the time, right? Like, and how that brings the energy down. Someone who's positive all the time and doesn't acknowledge the pain that is maybe happening to them, or others, can be equally dangerous, right? Like this is all a part of our life, right? And a part of the balance of life. So, for us to grow, growth comes with discomfort. You know what I mean? It's just a part of it. So anyway, let's finish this joint out.
Sympathy isn't the only side of the cube. You can die loving the lie, there's no denying the truth. The law of rhythm is consistently providing the proof. Lead too much to either side and the balance you lose.
Yeah, man. You know, and it just kind of goes on to further explain what I was just talking about, right? Positivity isn't the only side of the cube, right? Like we love to make it like, yeah, you know, like like, you know, flip a coin, like you could end up either. But I'm like, nah, fam, it's not a coin where it's this or that. It's a cube, right? You got all of this dimension, all of these different ways we can feel, we can live, we can whatever. Sorry about that. I'm just beating up the mic right now. But it's a lot more complicated. What we feel, what we go through, it's more complicated than we choose to admit sometimes. It's like you can die loving the lie. You can die loving the lie. There's no denying, but there's no denying the truth. The law of rhythm is consistently, pardon me, providing the proof. Lean too much to either side, the balance you lose. So just kind of, again, matter of fact, man, shout out to the movie Inside Out. I know a lot of people like, oh, it's Pixar, it's a kids movie. It's a great film. Inside Out 2 was really dope too. But like, the movie's very much about like what I'm talking about here, in that, you know, a lot of people would rather have just the one emotion, right? Just joy, just infinite joy, all the time. But that sadness, sometimes that sadness is necessary. We need that sadness too. You know, there are positive things that happen, there are negative things that happen, but the more important thing is that there's a lesson and an opportunity for growth in all of these things. So yeah, man. So, you know, that's largely what these lyrics deal with. And it's really about like, you know, accepting who you are, loving yourself, giving yourself space to grow and be your authentic self and all that good stuff. So we're going to let the hook play, and then it's going to go into the last segment of the song, which is, you know, me, just kind of like, it's like almost like a bridge at the end, that then goes into me, basically giving a pep talk to myself. Right. And you know, all that good stuff. It's funny. It's a pep talk to myself, but also becomes a bit of a pep talk to others who are in similar situations. So let's play that. There we go.
Never be what I'm not. I could never fall in love with a lie. I don't even know how to stop. People don't. I don't know how to try. I don't know how to try. I could never be what I'm not. I could never fall in love with a lie. I don't even know how to stop. People don't. I don't know how to try. I don't know how to try. I never stop loving you. Brown skin love all night, some of you. Thick lips, nappy hair, some of you. Do it all fall with the spring and some of you. I never stop loving you. Brown skin love all night, some of you. Thick lips, nappy hair, some of you. Do it all fall with the spring and some of you.
Yeah, man. So that part, right? Like this part, I remember a fan had wrote me about the song. They were like, man, the new song you did with Uyama is really beautiful. And they were kind of referring to the end part. They was like, I know you didn't necessarily write that ending part with me in mind, because they, you know, they weren't black or brown. You know, they were from a different background. And those lyrics at the end are very specific. And I'll explain why they're specific in a second. But he was like, yo, even though I know you didn't write that song with me in mind, he was like, bro, it's still beautiful, man, and it's very inspiring. And so thank you for making this song. And that was dope. Like I was like, man, I wish there was more of that in the world. Like, I know this thing isn't for me, but just because this thing isn't for me doesn't mean it's not great or it's not beautiful. I don't somehow feel like I'm being excluded and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, we don't get offended if someone is speaking to their group of people specifically, right? Like, this thing is for black folks, like, you know, you know what I mean? And then there's a whole group of people that feels a way about it, right? And and the same thing if like white people were making a thing that was like, nah, this is for white people. Yeah, it would be a problem. Like we all acknowledge that. But we don't do that when it comes to family, right? Like if I say I did this thing and I did this thing specifically for my child, right? For my child, for my wife, for my mom, for my cousin, for my siblings, right? That's not an issue because the expectation is that you take care of your family. You take care of yourself. You take care of your family. But let's continue to grow that out, right? You take care of yourself, and by taking care of yourself, you can take better care of your family, right? So your family at all times should want you to take care of yourself, not just because it'll allow you to take better care of them, but because they want to see you thrive, right? So you take care of yourself so you could take care of your family. And once you're able to take care of yourself and your family, then who's next? Your community. Your community, depending on where you live in the world, oftentimes what? Looks like you, right? And then from there, when you've been able to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and take care of your community, then it continues to grow out from there. You start with your local community until you're able to then from there take care of the global community, right? This is the journey I've been on my whole life, right? I learned to take care of myself. I learned to then take care of my immediate family, my wife, my children. You know what I mean? As I've been successful in doing that, my career has grown, and I've been receiving more opportunities to do more in my community. And as I've been doing more in my community, because I want to see all people do well, I've eventually done more globally. I've used my music to reach more people all around the world. And so even when I'm specifically making a song about my child, not your child, but my child, right? Or making a song talking to myself about things I need to work on for myself, even though these things are very specific and I'm talking to certain people that may not be you, it does not mean that there isn't a lesson there for you, because we don't look the same or you're not the person I'm talking to in that moment. So whenever I run across fans that can see that and feel that and still find love in that and inspiration in that, dude, it's motivational. It makes me feel better about the world, because it's like, yo, I'm just trying to really tap into my truth and acknowledge a particular thing. So when I say I'll never stop loving you, brown skin, love all, not some of you. Thick lips, nappy hair, some of you. Through it all, fall, winter, spring, and summer you. And then I repeat it, and then from there, whatever. Now say it in the mirror, right? Like I'm saying it to myself, but now I'm encouraging someone else to say that to themselves. And this is because, like, man, like there's been times where this world, this country has made it difficult to love being me. You know what I mean? And so I got to sometimes encourage myself, because I don't always find the encouragement when I turn on television or when I'm in certain communities and stuff like that. You know, I'm planning to eventually not live in Virginia, because the two most racist experiences I've ever had in my life has been while living here. And so even though there are a lot of great things about living here, there's like two traumatic experiences, two like significantly tragic experiences that I've gone through that have happened here. And it's just like, yo, yeah, I definitely plan to move back to Maryland at some point, because I haven't had those experiences there, and you become fearful of your children going through that, because you can't always be there to protect everybody you love. So, but yeah, man. And so at the end, I'll let this play, but shout out to J Soul, man. He killed it on the hook. Yes, here we go. If something is not about you, you can still include yourself in it through love. Great message. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. All right, let's go to this part at the end. This is the part that hit my wife in the heart. She's like, oh. She clutched the pearls. Here we go.
What's the ultimate goal? I like to believe it's to love yourself. I feel like sometimes our whole lives we've been taught to love anything but ourselves. In love with someone else's culture, in love with how they look, wealth. You start to feel like you're never good enough. But I'm here to tell you, you're not just good enough. You're the greatest thing that ever was. You're the greatest thing that ever will be. You're you.
My wife was like, "Oh, who you talking to?" Hey, shout out to Mrs. Robinson. So yeah, it's like, what's the ultimate goal? I'd like to believe it's to love yourself, right? It's like, I feel like sometimes our whole lives we've been taught to love anything but ourselves, in love with someone else's culture, in love with how they look, their wealth. You start to feel like you're never good enough. But I'm here to tell you, you're not just good enough. You're the greatest thing that ever was. You're the greatest thing that ever will be. You're you. I love you. You know what I mean? Words of affirmation, man. Speak love into yourself. Don't wait around for someone else to encourage you. And hey, man, and if you find encouragement when you come here, when you listen to my music, wonderful. But hey, man, in case I have a week off or these come to a stop at some point, yo, listen, we can look for love other places all day and then beat ourselves up trying to figure out why we don't get it. But ultimately starts with you. It's the reason why so many of us are attracted, not just to people who quote unquote look beautiful, but there's something that they exude, right? Like there's something coming from these people or whatever that lets you know, like, yo, they care about themselves. Maybe you like how they dress, maybe you like how they look physically, right? Or maybe you love how they talk, how they carry themselves. But a lot of those things you're talking about are all ways that when we look at people, we see these as things like, we see someone who's physically attractive, like their actual physical body. Like we look at that, and subconsciously what you're really seeing is someone who takes care of themselves physically, right? That's a form of self-love to a certain, some people can't control that, but that may be viewed to some people as a form of self-love, right? As well as like deciding what you're going to wear, how you're going to put together that outfit. It might seem like a shallow thing for some people, and then other folks, it's like, nah, I care about these aesthetics, right? Like I care about, I'm an artist, right? Like, so I care about color schemes and like how certain things are cut, how they fit. Like these are things I think about like in my art. So it spills over into other things in my life and how I dress. So that can be viewed as a form of self-love. All of these things can be viewed as a form of self-love. So now, again, these are things that attract you to other people, right? And I'm just touching on some of them for the sake of keeping it pushing. And so, you know, I think it's important that like, yo, you got to recognize that like sometimes we struggle with finding love or finding the right people for ourselves, for us in the world, whether it's friends, whoever, even sometimes our relationships with family. And that's ultimately because of how we're treating ourselves. We can't just sit around waiting for other people to treat us better. We have to treat ourselves better. You know what I mean? Shout out to my friends. I'm going to keep it together right now and not get overly emotional. But yo, when I was like really down, like a couple months back, I was really down and stuff. And shout out to Tone Deaf, man. We were having a talk and he was just like, yo, man, do something nice for yourself, bro. Like, you know, and I made sure when he was down to say something similar, but like, yo, like do something like, it's basically like, yo, you're worthy of love, man. You're worthy of all the great things that life has to offer. And the first step to that is you got to believe it. You got to believe it. I can't help you with that. Nobody else can help you with that. I can try to make all the positive songs, all of the inspirational songs, all of the reflective songs in the world to try to make this, like, make it easier for us to get through this life. But at the end of the day, that choice, that first step is for everyone else to make for themselves. And so, yeah, man, I pray you doing that work for yourself. And yeah, man, that's been Anatomy of a Verse, yo. I hope this song is done. I hope it's done something great for somebody, man. The comments when it came out that people were sending me was super dope to see. And yeah, it's a great joint. Really proud of the record. Shout out to Uyama, man. If you don't have this album, Breath of Love, definitely check it out. You know what I mean? Shout out to Uyama for signing my copy when I was out there, man. Shout out to Raina or Rainera, who you see as one of the features on there. That's actually Komachi. Like that's her singing on one of the joints. But yeah, man, let's go to these comments and then we're gonna get out of here for the day. Boom, boom. Let's see. We definitely need more empathy in the world. 100%, man. J Soul did his thing on that hook. Yeah, he did his thing. If something is not, yeah, I read this one. Thank you again for that. I agree. People can appreciate stuff that helps others. Yeah, man. Stan speaking wisdom as usual. It's man, look at all that wisdom. I try, man. It comes with old age. Peace. A little late today. Orion, you're always on time, brother. Good to see you here, man. Woo! I appreciate it. I don't know what thing I said made you do that, but it's usually a good thing when someone does that. So I appreciate you, bro. Spitting truth right as I tune in. 100%, man. Appreciate you, family. All that wisdom. Stan, my guru. Thank you, fam. It's a really beautiful song, and that was probably top 5 breakdowns. Thank you, brother. Means a lot, man. Thank you. As I take a bite of my orange. But yeah, man. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Get out of here. I hope y'all had a great show today. We had a 90-minute joint, almost 90 minutes today. Figure that's a good. Oh no! We can't leave. Hold on, we can't leave because yeah, man, we hit our goal. That's right. Thanks to y'all, we got 5 people sent in super chats today. So we got a new song to play. That's right. Let's see what we can do. Now, certain joints I am not going to play. Because we got some great features on the new Bop Alloy album, and I don't want to spoil those just yet. So I think what I'm gonna do is play a piece of one of the solo joints on here. So let me find that. All right. What I'll do is I'll give you a title. And then I'll let me know. I'll let you pick which title you want to go with. Maybe not. Just to save time, I might just be like, nah, son. I'm gonna just play a joint. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna play a piece of this joint called Two of a Kind. All right, here we go. So I will give y'all the hook, the verse, and I'll let the hook come back in because that's when it gets a little more interesting. But yeah, it's gonna be a snippet. So we're gonna get like a minute. You ain't gonna get the whole song, but this is a nice little piece. But here we go. All right, so here's Two of a Kind from the upcoming Bop Alloy album.
I don't know what you've been told.
Not mixed.
When they made us, they broke the mold. Many come and then they go, cause they can't duplicate our soul. No, you can't. But you tried though. No, you can't. We were like, no, you can't. Get a life, bro. No, you can't. That's just how I go. Know what you've been told.
What up, Steph?
When they made us, they broke the mold. Many come and then they go, cause they can't duplicate our soul. No. Yeah, who put the hop in your jazz when you got tired of gangsta shit, Molly whopping your ass? Then we showed up with a different kind of vibe to enjoy. Chillaxation with a knock, you gotta bop the alloy. Then the imitators come with they mid-ass raps and them soft-ass drums. Go ahead, get that back. 16 and we're still here, where the hell they at? Not as easy as it looks, you gotta pay for that. I don't know what you've been told, but when they made us, they broke the mold. Many come
on,
and they go, cause they can't duplicate our soul. No, you can't. But you tried though. No, you can't. We were like, no, you can't. Get a life, bro. No, you can't. That's just how I go. Know what you've been told. But when they made us, they broke the mold. Many come and then they
Yeah,
go.
man. Just a snippet. Just a snippet of that. Yeah, I don't want to give the whole joint to you yet, but when I tell you, man, this new Bop Alloy record is shaping up pretty damn nice. We just got confirmation from another feature, and we got some good ones, man. We got some really good guest appearances on this new album, and yeah, I think we got 10 tracks recorded with rough drafts and all of that so far, and I think I got one left to record, and then we're waiting for background vocals from Steph for 2 tracks, and then I just got to finish the intro, and we're done, man. And we already got like rough drafts of the cover art. Oh my God, yo, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. And got a couple comments here. Said, damn, that title sounded cool. I appreciate it. Hey, yo, that's smooth. The strings? Yeah, son. My man Stan getting his Nate Dogg on with that hook. That's what's up. Yo, somebody the other day said something similar to me. They were like, yo, Stan's like the underground Nate Dogg, which is funny because I used to say that. A lot of us at Q at 5, we used to say that about the homie Deacon the Villain. Shout out to Deacon the Villain. Let's see. Stan, you're a genius. I'm waiting for the official release. Man, thank you, family. It means a lot. Man, the household is going to have this on heavy rotation for sure. Thank you, family. I'm so excited, too. I'm eagerly anticipating this. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate it. Can't wait for y'all to hear the whole thing, man. Like I said, we're really close to being done. Marcus just sent me the video we recorded in Japan for this Kickstarter. My goal is to have that edited and ready to upload. Like hopefully by the end of April, we'll launch the Kickstarter maybe. So like a month from now. It depends on how much progress we make over the next couple weeks and stuff with the album. Which reminds me, I got to send him vocals. Yeah, vocals that were recorded last weekend. Excuse me, for the second to last joint we did. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I think it's a great record, you know, and I think y'all enjoy it. So on that note, I'm going to get out of here, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Let's throw this up on the screen. Yeah, man. Thank y'all, man. Again, thank you for helping me hit over 12,000 subscribers. And shout out to all 20 of y'all watching right now. What up, nephew? I was just talking to your mom last week, man, Namu. Yeah, man, let me know when you're going to be back down this way. It'd be great to see you. It's been a long time. All right. And to everybody else, man, y'all have a great weekend. Stay out of trouble. All that good stuff, man. Be safe out here, and peace. Oh, yeah. By the way, it is time for my daughters, my youngest daughters, favorite part of the show. Always got to preface it with that. So when it feels super silly, you know why. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to my youngest daughter, Destiny. It's time for her favorite part of the show, and that's the outro. Peace, y'all. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo. Subscribe, like, do whatever you like. Stay subscribed, like, do whatever you like. That's right.